guys so far through the opening part of fall camp?
I think we're doing a good job, not great. I mean, there's details. I really love the fact the way these guys kind of picked up the offense and understanding our culture in regards to how we practice. That's been really good. It's been encouraging. But there's some things we got to do better. I mean, of course, those are things that I'll be screaming at them about in the meeting in this afternoon. But each day we get a little bit better at those things we need to get better at. So, like I said, it's not the same old group. This is a whole new group, and they're all figuring it out and giving them a little bit of time and grace. But I'm happy with the way they're progressing.
What are some of those areas you need to get better?
Well, I mean, there's always timing with the quarterback. I mean, of course, every wide receiver coach in America is going to say there's too many darn drops. And there's generally a lot of foul language when he says too many drops. So that's kind of where things are at the moment. But it's the rhythm and the chemistry, which it's coming, considering, our guys have done a really good job during the summer. Like I said, getting good chemistry with our quarterbacks. I think we just got to continue to get it to the point to where, I can sleep at night.
Hey, you talked in the spring about sort of the run after the catch stuff
Yep.
being an emphasis.
Yep.
Did that carry over in the camp, or did you kind of address that then and now it's second nature?
Well, I won't say it's second nature, but there's some guys that took to it a little bit more than others. Like you say, I mean, Jaden Dawson just got him here, So, I mean, I'm having to impress upon the importance of being sudden and how we do things. So, there's young guys that deserves a little bit more attention in that regard. But the older guys, I think they kind of understand and they're doing things the right way, get the ball up the field.
What's that like to have such a large group of freshmen? I think it's the largest group you've probably had since.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, but the thing of it is we got the manpower. I mean, Kelton Copeland has been great. Tabo Dees has been, like I said, for GA, he's done an incredible job just progressing with the wide receiver techniques and concepts. So we able to split things up. I can take some of the older guys. Kelton can take some of the younger guys. And, like I said, take whatever's left and make sure that those guys are getting the attention, the detail work, making sure that when they're getting those questions that they're getting them answered. So this is the most manpower I've had to address having young guys. So I feel good about that part of it.
What were your first impressions of Jaden Dawson? What's it like
Yeah.
having a guy like you move in days before fall camp starts?
Well, I guess, the biggest thing for Jaden right now is we put him out there and he's getting reps and allow him to make mistakes. There's no sense in screaming, ranting, and raving. Let him grow with every opportunity, and he's going to grow. And like I said, as I get on him about the non-negotiables, the things that the playing with a sense of urgency, being in the run game, being responsible for the defender that you have, he's going to continue to grow every day. But you know what you saw out of him out of high school. I mean, he was a different player, and we're going to try to make sure that we get that out of him, hopefully this year.
What have you seen from camp day?
The kid is sudden. I mean, he's one of the most sudden kids that I've been able to coach. So ball skills are really good. He's one of those guys that when he gets the ball, I mean, he's going to make probably the first person miss. I mean, I don't expect. I mean, I'm looking at him. I was like, if you let anybody make the first tackle, I mean, I'm on you. So, and I think he's accepted that. I think he knows that that's in his wheelhouse. So, I think he's going to be really, really good. But there's other guys that are catching it and being sudden. I mean, of course, Emmanuel is catching the ball and being sudden, getting up the field. Doug is playing, is faster than he's ever played. So these guys have all, accepted some parts of where we were lacking last year, and they're adapting.
What has the growth been like for Doug after you've had him in the program for a few years?
Well, a lot of fights and a lot of arguments, and now we're kumbaya. We're putting arms around each other. It's been a whole lot better. But he's accepted leadership. At this point, the way our team goes, the way the wide receiver group goes, he's accepted leadership. And he's not worried about so much what he gets. He's worried about how the group's moving. So that's been, a compliment to him, and I appreciate him for how he's going about it. But he is playing his best ball.
With Scanty, obviously a really smart kid,
Mm-hmm.
so has been limited some this
Yep.
fall. What's that process like trying to get him ready
Yeah.
to play?
Every stinking rep we can get, what we call shadow. You know, and there we might be having walkthroughs, and those guys are behind, feeling, you know, what's happening with this play and spatially what's happening with a play. So he's walking around, he's in the huddle, then he walks out, shadows the guy, and he's getting those mental reps. You know, I try to impress upon those guys, him and Jaden as well. I mean, they make sure that they get out, they're right behind guys, and they're doing what they need to do to see what the coverage is, how the coverage is moving, hearing what the quarterback's saying, hear me screaming, being close to me. Those are all the mental reps that you got to get until you actually get out there running around with the helmet on.
In the spring, you've been FaceTiming them into
Yeah,
meetings.
yeah.
Did that help? Like when they got here, did you feel like
Well, every little bit helps. There's going to be something that they pick up on. So yeah, I can sit up there and hold my iPhone and just, you know, FaceTime, and some of the guys said, hey, it helped. But the biggest thing is, you know, like I said, you pick up something. You pick up something. By the time you get here, then, you know, hey, that little something I don't have to go over again. And, you know, hopefully, like I said, I think that's kind of helped the guys. But I will say that the room has been really good. Everybody in that room helps everyone else.
With the freshmen, how much did it help those guys, most
Yeah.
of those guys being in for the spring?
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, being here for the spring is huge. I mean, because now, you know, you take a guy like Tate Nagy. I mean, he goes through, you know, the spring and he figures some things out. A little bit slow here, a little bit slow there. Bryson Hayes, the same thing, a little slow, but they're playing their best ball right now. They're playing faster. I mean, they're confident. They have a better feel of what we're doing and what we're trying to get accomplished offensively. So, you know, I mean, they could be in a push. They could be in a push to start getting reps.
Terry, what's it been like for you having a couple years there where you had all the returning receivers?
Yeah.
And now, basically a new group.
It feels great because I'm coaching again. I'm not saying babysitting. You know, those guys were good. They knew what they were doing. I can come in and say, hey, here's the game plan, and they knew what we were doing. Now I'm teaching again. And, you know, and just like any good teacher, I mean, you enjoy those moments. You enjoy being in the room with your guys and giving them the information to get them better. And then you like to see that growth. You know, when they get out on the field, they take a technique that they used, and it's one of those things where you say, hey, they picked it up, they got faster, they got more efficient. I pat myself on the back, you know, but I don't tell you guys that. But yeah, I pat myself on the back a little bit.
You mentioned Doug when you talked about leadership.
Yeah.
Is he the guy? Is there someone else?
I think him, E-Man, you know, I mean, shoot, Keaton is starting to understand, you know, the parts of leadership. And even though he hasn't played as much as, you know, I wanted him to, but he understands what happened the last couple of years and what happened with those guys. So I have a good room of guys that are leading when the opportunity presents itself. So it's not just one man. It's just not one player, but it's a collective. And I'm happy with it being that way. I need to be able to hear other people's voices, you know, and see whether or not, you know, are you going to stand on what you believe? And, you know, is this important to you? If you're going to say it, you better stand on it.
Hey, when you talk quarterback receiver chemistry, do you personally have much interaction with Jalen about that, or is that coach to coach and then?
No, well, I mean, my conversations with Jalen is always, you know, because, you know, I've had some quarterbacks in my past that were pretty, you know, good, and telling and sharing those types of stories, and, you know, how I felt those quarterbacks. I need to feel him, you know, in practice. You know, don't be afraid to talk to those wideouts and get on the wideouts. You know, hey, if you see it, act it, and you don't like it, talk. It's okay. Those are the good things. Those are those moments that get quarterback and wide receivers relationships better. You know, so I want him to be heard in that room. I want to be able, like I said, I want to be able to feel him in practice talking to the wideouts.
Pretty responsive to that?
Yes. Oh, yeah. In the first couple of years, I don't know if he knew exactly what that meant, but I think this year he knows, hey, let it loose. Go play.
With so many new guys, how much are you able to cross-train guys, like have them work? You know,
A lot.
slot and-
Oh, yeah. I mean, all our guys. Well, and you know, and not to say that when you have injuries, another guy has to step up. But the way we practice, I mean, you can't just sit in one spot. Once one person go down in the food chain, you know, it's a chain reaction, you know, with other guys, and we're just piecemeal, and there's going to be opportunities for guys to play different positions. So, and like I said, I mean, if you're our best post guy, we're going to find ways to put you on that post anyway. So, and there's guys that have some skill sets that we want to be able to put them out there. But there's a lot of cross-training. There is a lot of cross-training.
How much have you seen Levi grow since
Yeah.
he's been
Levi is one of those guys that, his ceiling is huge. I mean, he's coming. He was kind of a guy that was playing out of position, that type of thing, coming up, and now he's starting to blossom and see things at the wide receiver position. He's doing things that I'm really appreciative. I mean, it's good to have that type of. Number one, what's the guy that throw in the bar? I mean, the throw bouncer. He's my bouncer. He's my bouncer right now. If it gets rowdy, I'm getting Levi to go throw some guys out the bar. So,
Out of position how?
well, he's one of those guys. He's so physical. That's his. He's a physical guy. He runs his routes physical. He can set tone. He can set tone for us on offense with just how physical he is, and we need that. LJ was that way. LJ was a physical presence. It might have been, a little slow sometimes, but, I love LJ. I'll give him a hug. But, sometimes he was a grandfather clock slow. But Levi does a really good job with what he does.
With Jaden, was there any rebuilding of confidence with how good he was in high school and then to go to Nebraska and things? I wouldn't say not work out,
No.
but
It's still early with that one. I mean, it's hard to sit back and say, where he is. Right now, you're just trying to immerse him to what we do and the culture and the standard of how we want our wide receivers to play. It's going to be a little bit different. Like in high school, I know they just chunked it to him and just let him do what he does naturally. But here you got to be a little bit more efficient. Timing, everything needs to be on par. And, blocking, you got to do it all. So that's what's expected, and he'll adapt. He's not one of those guys that's, he's not against it. He just understand, he's just got to understand that this is what we do.
Sorry, just to clarify, when you said the bouncer thing about Levi, was that
Mm-hmm.
in relation to the physicality? And the
Yes,
toughness?
yes. Yeah. He's just kind of one of those guys that's just physical, but has speed though too. A lot more speed than what you might give him credit for. So, I think he can take the top off just as well. But if I need somebody to go and crack a linebacker, a safety, or whomever, or the water girl on the sideline, he'll probably do it.
What was it like being in the stadium on Friday and Sunday?
Oh, that was fun. It's fun. It's just now you start to see the community, the love of the community to support the team. To do something like that, to put a stadium out there like that, boosters. You say, let's go get this. There's a lot of pride in that coming out of that tunnel. Those first times you come out of that tunnel and you see this is what the support, this is what we've been given, and we need to make sure that we put that product out there that make those people in those stands happy. So it's a push for this group right now. I think that's something that we're going to take a lot of pride in.
You talked about Levi's presence, just how do you describe Emmanuel's?
Emmanuel, when you're darn near 4'3", you probably go through a room pretty fast. So he's just one of those guys that, by his effort, he makes the group move. But how his mannerisms, the way he goes about things, the leadership, he's trying to get in the front of the line, but he's going fast. He's taking hard coaching. He allows me to coach him hard, so the other guys behind him have to get coached hard just as well. He understands. If you're the one making the plays, you got to be the one getting coached hard too. So that makes it easy on me, but that sets the great tone for the room. So and that's what I'm really appreciative of with him.
Do you get a sense that he feels an urgency?
Yes.
And if so, is that a good thing for a guy to have?
I think Levi has urgency. I think Emmanuel has urgency. I think Cam has urgency. I think, Canty. It pains him to not be there right now. So these are all guys that, they understand. They want an opportunity to maximize this opportunity. So, you got to get out there and play, and you want the information, you want the technique, you want to be coached. I don't care if you coach me hard right now, coach. Hey, tell me what I need to know so I can go out there and do it, because I got right now. So, and that's fun, but then, like I said, it's I think these guys are going to push forward to make the season that they want happen.